Okay, this is James Lomenzo coming to you from Asian Beat, and I'm here for Yamaha basses, and I wanted to take a minute and get you guys up to speed about the newest product from Yamaha, the 1025X, which is this bass I'm holding right here. I'm very proud of this bass because myself and other musicians, professionals in the United States and all over the world, had a chance to contribute their information and their ideas about what would make a great rock and roll bass, and I think Yamaha's really managed to find a good place with this bass guitar. For a 5-string bass, it's probably one of the most balanced sounding and playing basses I've felt in a long time. It's very hard to make these basses so that all the strings are even against each other, and I think that Yamaha's really managed to pull this one just right out of the box. It's great. I'll tell you a little bit about it, what I know about it. This bass has a 5-laminate neck on the back, which is the classic style of the original BBs, except that the difference is this has a bolt-on construction. The neck itself was bolted on, and the reason they went for this is because some of the classic rock and roll sounds that we like are bolt-on bass necks. In other words, if the neck doesn't run through as one piece all the way to the bridge, there's a different kind of attack. So by building the bass this way, you get that kind of punchy attack that we're used to hearing in all the great classic rock records, and it's a sound that I like very much. The thing that's extraordinary about the new bass neck is that, well, first of all, it's got the 5 laminates and a bolt-on. It has 2 strips of mahogany and 3 strips of rock maple. The rock maple has a new process when they make it. When they actually mill the wood, they cut it, they call it quarter sawing. And by quarter sawing the wood, by cutting it at its quarter edge, you actually get the grain to line up in one very strong, very hard direction. So these necks are rock solid. And I think it really contributes to a great, great solid tone that sustains, yet still has the character of the really old, beautiful basses that we love. If I can give you a little demonstration of just a basic sound, and you can see how good these things sound. That's using a pick. If you use your hands, you can really get it to slap really nice. We're going to let that go for a little bit and listen to it. So, because of this neck, you really get that big punchy sound, the big rock sound. And yet you still get the sustain of a neck-through instrument. So you get a little bit of both, but you still get that punch. So I love that. The next thing about these basses that I really dig is, and you can't see it, it's built inside the body here. What they've done is, usually when they construct basses, they'll make it out of 1 piece or 2 pieces or 3 pieces, depending on how they make it. Since this is a bolt-on neck, they still made an integral part, a middle section here. You can't see it because of the paint. It runs from the neck, where the neck bolts on to the middle section, and then the neck goes all the way, and then the body goes all the way to the end. The 2 sections on the side are usually matched later on. It's called book matching. You take a top and a bottom, you put them on the side. Now, usually what they used to do is put these things, glue them together, and then put them in a mold until it dries and cures. What they've come up with now, and I think it's a really great idea, is to put wooden biscuits in between. A wooden biscuit is a thin piece of wood that you can actually glue in to each piece of wood to hold it together to keep it more solid laterally. So this contributes, again, to this big punch factor, to this big rock sound, to a big sound. And that's a great trick that's inside these basses that makes them so unique. The next part I want to talk about is the bridge. The bridge has these beautiful stainless steel saddles, first of all, which really transmit the sound in a very percussive, hard way, yet they're not too bright and too brittle, but they're bright enough to articulate the strings. These are great. They have a great shape to them. They look classic. They look like the old bridges that we've fallen in love with over the years. And the rest of the bridge system is basically your usual aluminum with a little bit of shine on it. But the nice thing is you have an option of putting the strings through the body. You can see where it comes through right there at the middle end part. Or you can actually come through the bridge, which is the traditional way. By putting the strings through the body, you still reinforce this big power section from the top of the neck all the way through the body, holding together through the bridge, and then holding it to the body. So you can You can do that Billy Sheehan stuff and stretch it up and down, and the body will really interact with the sound. Or if you want the traditional sound where perhaps the strings don't have as much punch to them, you can put it right through there, and it also change the feel of the strings, which will make it feel a little bit lighter. But I actually like this good tension that this bridge provides. So that's great. The last part of it I want to talk about are these very, very cool new pickups that they've developed. They use these giant strips over here that go through the whole magnet. The magnet is the part that wraps around, and they made them really nice and flat. There's no adjusting pole pieces, so now you can just move the pickup up and move the pickup down, which is really great. Nothing to catch on the strings. Your sound is always balanced, and they're very easy to adjust with all these screws. And these full magnets, these full pole pieces that go right to the bottom of the magnet, they're very big and they're very powerful, but they're not so powerful as to jam the strings down. So you really get a delicate sound from them, and again, it holds up really well, and you can also get a very aggressive sound. Right? Now, front pickups, classic P-bass pickup, so you can get that kind of very warm sound, good for the blues. Back pickup has a really nice little bark to it. It's a single coil. Yamaha's been doing it forever, but this one's a little hotter, so. Yeah, you get that really tight sound playing right over that pickup. And the harmonics, again, just fly out of there. That's a very usable back pickup. You can play all night on that too. So if you want a jazzier sound, the cool thing about this rock bass is that you can play jazz as well. Okay, so all these elements, the best part about this bass, the 1025X, the X designation, by the way, means it has a cool pickguard on it and it looks cool. If you get it without the X option, it's just a naked, classic-looking Yamaha bass, which is another feature that I really like about it. It looks like the great Yamaha basses that we've come to know and love. So you just have this option now with if you choose the X model, to have a pickguard, make it look a little different, a little more old-time rock and roll. All these elements come back, and I'll tell you what, I missed one thing. There's a stainless steel nut, a German silver nut down here that sounds absolutely amazing as well, especially for the open strings. The B string has the best integrity of any bass I've probably ever heard in a 5-string range with a bolt-on neck. It really just exudes itself like a piano. I mean, that's a piano sound. The only thing that's missing for that is when you take your foot off the sustain pedal, it goes ba-doom. So I'll make that noise myself. All right, so there's a piano for you. Okay, so this is a lovely bass. I think everybody should check it out. It's a great bass. I'm very proud to have been part of it, along with a lot of the other fabulous players at Yamaha. And go to your store and check this one out.